Thanks for that, Mel. Our next guests, they're usually on either the other side of the world or the other side of the Tasman, and between them they've reported on conflicts and from war zones, terrorist attacks, major political rallies, upheavals and natural disasters. The front seat to world history. But today they're all here with us. We've got Europe correspondent Lisette Reymer, the US correspondent Mitch McCann and Australia correspondent Emma Cropper. Wow, that is some talent right there on the couch. When was the last time you were all together?
Like 2 years?
3, I reckon.
3 years?
3, yeah.
But do you talk quite frequently about coordinating your outfits?
Yeah.
He organises it. Mitch's group stylist, he organises it.
That's good. We are in probably constant contact most days over the last 3 years anyway, so...
It doesn't
nice.
feel like 3 years, to be fair.
Yeah.
All the FaceTimes.
Yeah.
And you've only just recently come back into the country, all 3 years.
Yeah, I came in on... I don't even know what date it is right now.
Yeah, what a day.
Like Wednesday.
Like that's just correspondent life, to be fair. You're awake when the sun is up, or maybe you're not even. Sometimes you just sleep when you can.
Yeah.
Just roll with whatever.
Mitch, you're the sort of newest correspondent out of the
And it
3
shows.
I knew this was going to happen.
Any advice you would like from...
Yeah. Don't talk to them.
Well, and you're no longer the US correspondent because you've moved on. But what's it been like over in the US? Because you're the inaugural, our first ever US correspondent, our only Newshub's only ever US
first and last.
correspondent. Yeah, the first and last. Don't take it personally.
It wasn't anything to do with you, though. Just let's point that out.
That's how bad it was.
But you've covered some pretty meaty stories, some sad stories, some interesting stories. You know, the Baltimore Bridge collapse. You were with us that morning that happened.
Yeah.
Some big stories.
Yeah, it has been amazing. I think the one sort of group of stories that will stick with me is Donald Trump and Joe Biden. You know, it's something we've been watching for the last sort of 8 to 10 years. It's been amazing. And just to be at a sort of front seat of that, I remember my first Donald Trump rally, sort of like an explosion to the senses. I think I described it on this show as like a AMP show on steroids. And then I read that back and I said, I should have said something way more like smarter. But that's what it was like. So it's been amazing. And I think talking to you guys every week, we were talking about it in the car this morning, has been like the highlight of the week because it's your kind of connection to home and your friends and family. And you hear from people that you haven't heard of in a long time. And it's just this sort of highlight of the week.
It's like also just hearing the New Zealand accent sometimes.
Yeah.
Like you're in these crazy places, sometimes feeling a little bit isolated, and you just always know you're going to have that one connection, like an invisible string to New Zealand AM, and then of course the 6 o'clock crosses. But it is like so special to always be able to touch base with not just you guys, but know that you're joined by all the New Zealanders.
In terms, I mean, we could go through and get memorable stories, but you know, what are some of the stuff that has gone on behind the scenes that we haven't seen? Some of those moments that you will always remember.
Ask Lisette about that.
Yeah, like let's start with you, Lisette, because you know.
The producers said to us, you know, we want to hear about when things go wrong.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, where do I start? And Mitch was like, I've got nothing.
And we were like, what are you, perfect?
Yeah. Must be hard being the golden child. But things go wrong all the time. I mean, you guys know that, like disaster. I mean,
yeah, thanks.
Yeah, and how you handle it with such grace is what we've learned from. Oh my gosh, I've got like crazy. I just recently had Mitch told me not to tell the story, but I recently had a suspected case of dengue fever, which reared its head right before a live cross, and it almost was catastrophic. Let's just say that.
Read its turtle head.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. I like you had the shits on telly.
Okay, here comes Lloyd with the clarification we didn't need.
No, but I don't know the symptoms of dengue fever.
She'll tell you.
That's it, really.
Oh, that would have been great
Mike
TV.
Roberts in my ear, outside Westminster. In the bushes.
Little emergency defecation situation sneaking up on you.
I mean,
Did you actually defecate?
It was an emergency situation.
Lisette, that's a great story.
2 minutes to you.
Okay.
Well.
Wow. Have you,
Goodness. Emma, how do you follow that?
Have you shut out
They should tell me not to tell the story.
No, that's a good story. So that's the stuff we want to hear, though, because you know we're all normal, we're all human. We've all
had dengue fever.
Yeah, we've all shit in a bush outside.
Have you ever shit outside Parliament?
Wow.
Excuse me.
And that's
I'm going to apologise on behalf of everybody for the language here.
Have you?
No, not yet. Yeah.
Oh, hey, that's surprising.
Yeah.
It's quite surprising, given.
I thought anyone was going to shit their pants.
Okay, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry.
Emma, what are some of your memorable moments, maybe off-camera type stuff?
I don't know.
You got
I
some
think
stories?
Yeah, it's just I guess I sort of work on my own over in Australia, so it's always trying to get something out. There's a lot of technical issues. I think one time I went all the way to Townsville and got there, had my camera, and I had no batteries. And then I was like, oh no. So you're just filming the head of the New Zealand Army on my iPhone because I'm like, oh my God. So anything like that.
Yeah.
You're just behind the scenes. It's crazy, but we make do.
And no one would ever know.
No one would ever know, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to miss the delay that we have with Australia. It's like a
I know.
5-second delay that we've got with Channel 7 over there, isn't
Yeah.
it? Whereas with you guys who are way further away, there's hardly any delay.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, isn't
Yeah.
it? The places you can beam into.
Yeah, I mean, isn't Poo Chat just way more exciting than this type of chat?
Yeah. I'm glad I learned that.
I think we know a little, but for those viewers who don't quite know what you're moving on to, do you want to each just say where people will be able to see you or what you have planned, what's coming next?
So I've started, as you guys know, with agency in the US, so we're going to stay on there, and basically doing live crosses per hire, so different countries. I think when I spoke to you guys on Tuesday or Wednesday, I just done one in India and then did one in China after you guys. So it's it's quite random, but it's cool. So it's an opportunity to keep reporting. Yeah.
You working by yourself, like a VJ?
A lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do miss that. I'm going to miss this.
Yeah.
Highlight of the week. Yeah.
That is tough. What about you, Cropper?
Well, I've been lucky for the past few years. I've been working in the Channel 7 newsroom, so I'm going to stay on there and do some producing work and behind the scenes and, stay on.
Great.
Oh, so we've lost you to Australia.
Becoming an Aussie citizen at the end of the year.
Are you actually?
Yeah, I am. I can do. So I'm there full Aussie.
Why are we clapping that?
Yeah, that's not to clap.
Yeah, that's not right.
No.
Oh, so we've lost you. We've lost a
I'll be back. I
yeah,
won't stay.
I hope so. Oh, congratulations on that. That's really cool.
I'll be on the phone to her every day, telling her to come home to New Zealand.
Yeah, she is starting to sound like an Australian.
I know.
Today. Yeah. Lisette, what are you up to?
Yeah, I'm moving home, which is crazy, to Auckland, New Zealand. I'm going to work on the new stuff bulletin, which is super exciting. So big changes ahead. I'm going to go and have a holiday in the summer first, get a tan, and then come home.
Oh,
Well,
good.
we're very lucky that we're still going to be having your stories. You're all master storytellers, but you're also thoroughly decent people. And we've really enjoyed being able to catch up with you each week on the show. You've been a huge part of it, and I'm sure the viewers will miss you too.
You are. You guys are actually seriously good correspondents. Like, we've both been correspondents, and watching you guys flourish and grow and do such epic work it's made me very proud.
I think
We
that's
get a round of applause in the studio. Yes.
That is a huge motivator, I know for myself, and I'm sure for you guys, has been to add to the legacy that you guys have led. You know, you left behind an incredible standard when you left your posts, especially for me, a lot of pressure. But yeah, that has been a big part of it, is making you guys proud. So I'm happy to hear we did.
Yeah, I think one of the best things is that people have probably worked it out watching, but you know, we're all kind of good friends outside of this, so it's not just weekly catching up with Lloyd and Mal, whoever's on. It's like catching up with actual friends, and some of the chats before we go on could never be broadcast.
Well, we're about to. We're actually
There
about
will
to.
be some.
There will be some, a little bit broadcast a little bit later,
Yeah. But thank you for the connection you've given us back to you, our colleagues, our friends and our family, because it's been sort of invaluable being by ourselves overseas, so thank you.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You guys have raised the bar, and you should be super proud because you are Newshub's last ever correspondents overseas. Thank you very much for coming in. It's been awesome. That is Europe correspondent Lisette Reymer, US correspondent Mitch McCann, and Australia correspondent Emma Cropper. It's now time for the news. Here's Michael.